Okay, we should be back. I had to close OBS to like end the proper stream. It was very weird. And now the session 12 one is like, okay, we should be back. This should be 11. I had to close OBS to like, okay, mute that. Why is it? Why did the name not update? God damn it. 12 is wrong. It's 11, but whatever. We're just gonna roll with this. This doesn't matter. This is not worth the effort to fix. Okay. All right. So let's make sure everything here runs. Okay. Last time we were working on our passives. Welcome back, Rugops. We're also back, theoretically. It's being a little weird, but I think we're good to go. Never tried to like stop and restart a YouTube stream, and it really, really didn't like it. It was really mad at me. It really wanted me to just go back to streaming under the same title. And it's still being a little weird, but... Okay, this all looks correct. So this is all well and good. So here's the thing I want to do today. I want to do level ups. So first things first, I made a new sprite. Create sprite from images. So I made a little graphic for leveling up. Now, the question is, what do we want to do? This one needs to be in here. It should be all, these should be all the frames. Okay, there we go. So this is our level up sprite. Now, I'm guessing the frames, yeah, they're almost correct. So this is the idea, right? We level up, and then it goes, ta-da, cards. And then you flip them over, and then it has the text for your abilities you get to pick from for that level. With the card motif just being a fun little thing I cooked up for the UI that's not actually like relevant, but... And I don't know if I want this to be this little outline thing, or if I want it to be something else. Can we play this? Yeah. That's not bad. So it should play and then stop on this frame is the idea. So this is the terminal frame. So these are all like backwards. Definitely the most detailed animation I've ever made for anything in my life. Which is saying a lot, because it's only like 20 frames. Okay, that should be correct. Okay. Cool. I think I should have maybe like varied the placement a little bit, but as like a prototype animation, I think this is good. So, can I duplicate frame? Yes. Great. So we can use this as a way to like slow it down. So it's 28 frames. Let's do this like an even 30 frames, maybe. Sure. Okay, now we got to think about how to handle it. In terms of game systems. So let's go to the objects. When we initialize the animal, let's initialize level and XP. Level 1, XP 0. Let's clear out these passives, because you shouldn't start with any. Technically, you shouldn't start with any attacks either, but I think I'm going to leave these here because we have a bunch of work to do to make the attacks function. Hey, Biocraft. Acknowledging you popping in once more to say hi. Welcome to the stream for however long you want to stick around. Okay, yeah, let's get the level up, pop up, and like selection stuff going first. We can work it out with the passives, and once the passives work, the attacks will work the same way. We just need to update for the attacks like usage in battle, which is going to require some other sort of UI element we have to cook up. So the attack list thing maybe isn't a thing today yet. Maybe that's a next time thing. So what I want to do, I think, is the training. Okay, so a function HP, a function damage, date time, M training, stat growth function. I think we should do XP management here. Let's do a function for this. We do like add XP. We'll flag it to be, well, what do we need? We need a target. We need an amount of XP, I guess. So for now, we'll just do this. Player, comma, 1. I don't know what I want necessarily for an XP rate, but it's going to be variable. So there's going to be more to this, some sort of formula based on current level and stuff like that, growth stages, which aren't implemented. So for now, we just put this in as like a hard-coded 1, just for the sake of like tuning, just to make it work. So we do if this is target, this is number of XP if target absolutely equals player. Let's do let's just do this. Target equals none. Does none type a thing in this? Inconsistent naming. No, none type is not a thing. We'll just do target equals 0. Whatever. Target is player. Target equals global.pc. Not sure if this is going to be implemented for enemy characters in any way exactly, but like we'll probably simulate their level growth or something. But for now, we'll just put it in here. Global.en. If nothing else, it's a placeholder for when you can raise multiple dinosaurs at the same time, which is a planned capability. So we do target.xp plus equals nxp if greater than or equal to 1. For now, this is like whatever the amount you need to level up will be. Actually, you know what? Let's make this flat 100, I think. Conceptually, I think I like the idea of a set amount of XP per level and just modulating the amount of XP you gain on actions. That way it's more predictable. I don't really like never knowing, like scaling XP amounts per level as opposed to scaling the XP gains, right? One of them is inherently readable. If all you need is 100 XP to gain a level always, you just know that. Whereas if that number changes dramatically, you never really know what it is. And like XP gains are going to be highly variable. They always are. So why not put all the variance into one number instead of 2, right? So if target XP is greater than or equal to 100. No, this isn't correct. Also, this is capitalized. This is oops, target dot level times 100. No, wait, not -1. Okay, if it's level 1, this should be this, right? It should be target specifically -100. No. Current level. Wait. This is right. Because if your current level is 1, you need 100 XP to level up. Yes. And then if your current level, then you'd be level 2. Now you need 200 XP to hit level 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So if you level up, then we want to probably trigger a level up function. Sure. We pass the target to this. I'll just take this syntax. The 0 might crash that actually because it's not like a proper object. because then it would be like 0.xp. Let's you know what, let's leave it alone. If it crashes, it crashes. That's something we can deal with later. Like, it crashing is not bad because this should never actually happen, ideally. This shouldn't be a colon because these are game maker conditions, right? These are just flat this. So XP doesn't change. We just do target.level plus equals 1. And then we need to create this thing. We should probably make this an object. Yeah, okay, so let's do this. Let's do new object, create object, object level cards, sprite is, nope. Level up sprite. Okay. Add event create. Okay, so we don't need to have this do anything right away. Let's just test what we've got. So how do we want to generate this? We should copy probably, there's a thing we do on the ranch for the training, right? It's the training button? No, the training button is this button. Ranch action button. Yeah, if function, etc. So forth. The function is train. Instance create depth. Yeah, this is what we want. So this we want to create in the function, right here. So we want to know the level gained, new level. Let's call it new level. New level is target.level. I guess. And then this is being created, presumably somewhere. Object.level cards. Let's just see what we got. Why is it chugging so much this time? Writing chunk T page size. Why is it doing so much? Let's not worry about it. Train HP. Training HP raised to 2. Nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? What did I do that made nothing happen? Level up target. Target is player. We don't know where we are. Show debug message target. Oh, because it's getting 1 XP. Yeah. Yep. I forgot I need to do this. Actually, we should have a explicit calc. So this should be like NXP. Yeah, this is better. Just hard code that in there for now. And then eventually this gets replaced by a calc depending on growth stage and stuff like that. NXP, 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 and NXP. Run it. Unknown function, attribute, got an error. Show debug message. Oh, yeah. Whoops, this is outside of the function. Totally true that is bad. Okay. Interesting. Why did that lag so much? Okay. It mostly worked though. If we start this from 0, 0. Right, okay, so it's like way up here. It's enormous. Right. It is a high-res thing. That makes some sense. Do I scale it in the script or do I scale it? No, we should scale it on the object. How 1151 1151 3284 object enemy. Do I have a set scale? Yes, this. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. On create. I don't know why that lags initially. That's really weird. It's about the right size. Prefetching the sprite. How the fuck does that work? Sprite prefetch underscore. Okay. Prefetch a texture page with the given sprite. Okay, so we do we go to say the ranch screen. Destroy all mallows. What's with the homalophobia, man? What's that about? Maybe we go to the ranch layout. On creation, we do sprite prefetch. Sprite level up. Does that fix the lag? Oh god. The button is not okay. Sorta. It like hangs there now. That's probably okay. Okay, that does sort of work. Interesting. Let's put this on not the ranch layout. Put this on the title screen. Now what happens if we run this? About to start room, initialize, and then it just takes a moment to pop up, and then it presumably just runs? Yes. That's better then. It's better for there to be a delay on startup than for there to be a delay in the middle of it, I think. Okay, and then we want to do... we want to change the position of that. Let's try 100. We're just going to eyeball the position. It takes a little while to load now, which is not an expected thing. Okay. We want to move this down and further over. So we'll do 100 down, 200 over. It is the circle of life. This is true. The bite-sized nuggets do exist to feed things. Okay, 200's a little further. I just kind of want to try to line it up with like the text, maybe. Although that's not like bad. Because it is like off to the side anyway. We'll put it back a little bit. We'll do like 150. That pace of the animation's pretty good, I think. Because, like, there's no reason to draw this out. We just need it to stop. We need it to not loop. Which I think is just a toggle we can do. I'm going to move the position of it slightly further. I think we'll just do like 140. And then presumably if we go to the script, maybe... No, maybe the sprite? Forgot what I called it, of course, always. Am I blind? Level up. There it is. Texture settings? Change playback mode. What playback mode is that? Oh, that's okay. That goes. Okay, that looks like it doesn't loop then. Okay, but it does loop. So that is just not looping on the preview. Maybe we can handle this better on the object then. There's like no reason to ever have it loop actually, but Collision mass, visible solid, level up, events, parents, physics, variable definition. How to stop a sprite from looping. Image speed variable. Yeah, but then couple the animation end event. Okay, the event animation end is a thing, maybe? Add event. Draw end, maybe. Asynchronous? Audio end? In-app purchase? Holy shit. That's some, animation end. So we just do image speed equals 0. So at the end of the animation, it should freeze, theoretically. That's what we're trying to achieve here. It does, but it freezes onto the first frame. So that's not quite what I want. It's close to what I want. So this isn't it. What we can do, let's do this. Okay, we make a new sprite. Importing the card frame. Just this one. Level up 2 sprite. And then we go to objects and we do create objects. This is O level cards. We did capitals, do capitals again. Level cards 2. We do the sprite. We do the existing level up 2 sprite. Add event, create GML code. Then we go to here. We go to here. Copy this over. We go to here. And actually, maybe I can just change the sprite. Can I change sprite on this? Change object sprite. This would be more efficient. Object set sprite. Perfect. Object set sprite. Okay, so when the animation is done, we just do set sprite. We go level cards 2, and we go sprite level up 2, object level cards 1. So this will change itself to be this other sprite. This does not need to exist then. Let's run this. The startup time's concerning. But I mean, it's like compiling the game too every time we do this. It's probably fine. Okay, it's still doing other stuff. Inconsistent name. What if we do... let's set the speed to 0. I forgot the syntax already for that. Oh, hold on. Please note this is not an instant function. You can change the sprite index of individual instances to the sprite index variable. Ah, okay, sprite index variable. So this is changing the subsequent runs. This is not what we want to do. We don't want to change the object internally. We want to change this instant of the object. So this is image index, sprite index, sprite index. How do we know which index this is and which one it should be? Okay, I'll be right back. We'll figure this out in a second. Hey Ian, it's a dinosaur game. That's what it is. Let me do this. We'll start the game and I'll show it off a little bit. It's still very, very rough around the edges, very early days. So the idea is you have a little dinosaur ranch where you're breeding and raising dinosaurs, all with their own unique genetic sequences. And you're managing your income with your dinosaur, like lifespan and stress and stuff like that. And then you enter battles, fight other dinosaurs for, notoriety and money. And there's a pseudo real-time combat system. Of course, we got a bunch of stuff right now that's placeholder. We're getting absolutely bodied by this baryonyx. We have not landed a single hit. This is one of the worst rounds I've ever had. We got destroyed. That is like the worst we've ever done in that fight. Completely obliterated. But it's all, of course, very crude. Why is it not showing? Hold on. Is it stuck on the title screen? Wait. The OBS preview never updated. Why did it... Did none of the gameplay come through there? What is going on? This is very weird. Yeah. Wait, it just stays on the title screen. Okay, we got a weird thing. Why does that not work? Okay, let's do an experiment. I don't know why it's not coming through on stream now. It just hangs on the title screen and doesn't actually update. Okay, so this is coming through where? This is runner.exe. That is on which OBS window? I wonder if this is like a Windows 11 thing. Oh, it might be because I probably have some OBS settings that are for like Windows 10. I can't find the window. There it is. Capture method automatic. Okay, let's click this button. That works? Okay. Okay, yeah, I had to change the thing. I don't know why. Let's see if it works now from scratch. Okay, that just works now. Okay, well, okay. So, yeah, they got the ranch. This is all very placeholder. You have money, you have different meters for your animal, for your dinosaur, like hunger, stress, discipline. You train them, you raise them up. This is what I'm working on right now, so this doesn't quite work yet, the level up system. Then you go to tournaments where you earn money and notoriety, the whole battle system that exists. Animations, of course, are very crude. The backgrounds are all placeholder, but the system is coded. It does function. We have status effects, like now we're bleeding, so we're definitely going to lose this fight. We're going to get fucking destroyed. Well, I got a paralysis, but I don't think it's going to save me. Maybe if I can get a Devour off? It's essentially a spiritual successor to the Monster Rancher games, but with dinosaurs instead of monsters. We're not going to win. We're going to bleed out. Yeah, we bled out. All right, another fight, another loss, but that's the expected outcome. The Baryonyx usually wins, so. But yeah, eventually we'll have a whole range of dinosaurs you can raise. We'll have this elaborate genetic system coded in, which will control how the dinosaurs get passives and attacks as they level up. You'll be able to breed generations and kind of try to make like your own, ultimate dinosaur. Should be highly replayable. Even further down the line, I have plans for like randomizer modes and stuff like that. Assuming this makes it, further down the road, it's always a question of if the project actually survives long term, but hopefully it does. I'm having fun with it. We've hit double digits on the amount of sessions coding, so that's good. It's a good sign. Okay, so how do we get a sprite index? So we need to find the sprite index, and we need to switch it. Sprite get index function. That is not this. That is something else. How to get the sprite of an object? That's the question. And at some point, we'll hire an artist. Like if this, basically, my plan is to focus on the mechanics of the game and not the art because I'm not an artist. And then I get into a position where it's pretty interesting and good for a demo. Maybe I do art for the demo or get somebody to do some art for the demo. And if we ever make it to Steam, we do a full art rehash for like the early access or whatever and make it not look like turds. Object get sprite function. Okay. So if we do this, we do no less than one argument. So we need to provide the object. Okay, so this is, can we just do like self? Does it recognize self? I'm not sure, but I would like it to recognize itself. Hey Ellie, how's it going? We're working on trying to get the level up UI working here in the game. So this would be like the original index if this works. So the original sprite index is this. I don't know if self actually works here. Probably doesn't since it's underlined by red. Yeah, let's just call it the actual object. So level cards. So this fetches the sprite, whatever it is, because I don't know what this sprite index is. So let's find that out. So we just do a show debug message for this index. Because I don't know how these indexes are calculated. Yeah, it's all custom stuff. Been working on a low poly T-Rex for your 3D modeling stuff. Interesting. That sounds fun. Yeah, I never got into 3D stuff. Never got into any modeling or like art stuff. Okay, so there's our little animation. We need it to freeze. I can't see the index because we also have a printout here for the guy walking around. So let's suppress that. And let's check the debug again. Okay, sprite index is 11. Now, why is it 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you start from 0, this would be 11 just in order here. So in theory, all I would have to do is do sprite index equals 12. Sprite index underscore. Yeah, sprite underscore index equals 12. So now in theory, when the animation ends, this should switch it to a non-animated sprite so that it ends on the DNA cards. Success! That's what we're looking for. So, currently this doesn't do anything. Yeah, hopefully JW3 doesn't take any steps back in terms of management mechanics. Definitely a concern that I have with some stuff. Hopefully it fixes the bad management mechanics, though. The things that really don't add to complexity or that are frustrating, like territory decay, need some adjustments. Really, territory decay can just be fixed by AI adjustments, but they never did it in 2, so I'm not really optimistic. Definitely mechanically, that's like the biggest thing I'm curious to see about is how the territory system works, if there even is a territory system in 3, because it's not even clear to me. Necessarily if there is or whatever. So, now, this is likely to change. If this is the order of the sprites as they are currently present, this is not going to work. So I think what we do, we've run into this before, actually, with these sprite indexes changing, I think, somewhere. In which case, I may actually need to fix this in other places. But we have the other object we made, so I can just use that as like a way to pin down this index, right? If we do this. Level Up Carts 2 has the other sprite. So we just call this like index 2, and then this just becomes index 2. And this should work. Yeah, traits giving appeal is a good change. I really liked seeing that. Perfect. Okay. Having done that, is that what I actually want to do? Or do I want to have this like create the cards separately so that I can make them buttons? Let's see here. Yeah, I think I want to do this differently. I think this is not going to be anything I care about. Okay, so I think we do this. I think we do new sprite. So we take the gene, we make the gene a sprite directly. We'll call this Carno gene. Then we make an associated object. Let's make this generically a gene card, not a Carno gene card. Eventually we'll switch the sprites. And then the sprite is now the individual gene. Add event, creation. Rescale. Okay, and then we go to the level cards. Am I a fan of Transformers? It's complicated. I was a big fan of Beast Wars back in the day when I was a kid. Um, like the 3D cartoon and the figures back in the 90s. So I am a fan of Beast Wars more so than I am a fan of Transformers. I still have some Beast Wars I picked up. This is like a nostalgia thing. At one point in time, I had like a Beast Wars resurgence where I like eBayed maybe like 20 different figures, and then after that, I never bought another one. It was like a one-time thing. Okay, so this index stuff, we're gonna leave this here. It's kind of just like legacy code, but we'll comment it out because this might be useful in other ways to come back to. What we actually want to do is when the animation ends, we want to destroy itself. Wait, you feel old? Why do you... Wait, I'm confused. Why do you feel old when I'm talking about shit from the 90s? Because I was a kid in the 90s? I'm not clear. I guess that would be it, right? That makes sense. Okay. I had to think about it. I had to chew on that one for some reason. Okay, so we want to do let's write out some comments. We want to create 3 new card objects at coordinates, and then we want this to destroy itself. So we do instance, create layer, create depth, create layer. What is the difference? XY layer ID object, XY depth object. We want it in this layer, I guess. So we do depth. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the broader Transformers like franchise beyond Beast Wars. Um, I mean, I know about like Gen 1 and like little tidbits of lore with that. I saw some of the older Bay movies, but they all kind of suck. So um, there's a lot out there that I'm not familiar with for Transformers as a broader franchise. Okay, so what were the X position, Y position, depth object? So this is a gene card. I don't know what the positions are supposed to be. So we're going to start with like 100 comma 600, I guess, and a depth of whatever depth we put on the other thing, which was 20 something. We'll just call it 20. So if we just do this, actually, let's check the destroy self thing. No, let's do this first. Let's get these positioned. So we'll run this. That load time, though. My introduction to the JP franchise was the movie. I don't remember if I read the book before the movie was out, but my introduction was at least the trailers. Because I definitely would have picked up the book as a little kid if I hadn't seen the trailer, I don't think. But yeah, no, I was there for like theatrical showings of Jurassic Park. Okay. It works. So now we just need to align the new card with the old cards. And then kill this animation. So it's about, I would say about twice as far down as it should be. No, about half as far down. Oops, I almost closed the wrong thing. So 400 maybe. Say 140 to that's a 3, I don't know, 340, 540. See where those are. Yeah, that's coincidentally just about the width of the cards as it stands. They're still too far down. If I would have planned this better, I could have actually known the coordinates they would need to align to, but I already wrote up that whole animation. I'm not redoing it. I'd rather trial and error the positions. So we'll do 440, 7. Oh, and this should have went the other direction, actually. Because this was... like 200 already, right? Yeah, I've been interested in going back to PK to check out the breeding, but we never had time. The last two JW2 parks I wanted to do, or check out more of the breeding, I guess, because I think we did some of it. Yeah, we definitely did, because we did like starting only with babies. Okay, that's really close. The height's probably pretty good. Everything needs to be shifted this way. So we do 220, 520, 820. Actually, did I do 200 initially? I don't remember. Ooh, that's pretty close. Okay, so like 180. So yeah, I did do like 200 initially or something probably. So I need to move it like 180, like yeah, we'll try 180 and we need to tighten them up. So like 180, 480, 780, and then we take off like another 40 from here maybe. So 440, 700. If I were in charge of DW3, how would I handle the game? I don't think I can answer that. I think I would need to know much more about the internal dynamics to and budgeting and stuff. That looks pretty good for the most part. They need to be moved. They need to be spread out a little bit more. That's pretty close. So this is like 450, 720. That's pretty close. You can see a sliver there. I'll probably leave it. I mean, it's not really a loaded question. It's just like I don't know how to answer it. Like without, it's just something that I probably overthink. I don't feel like the game is like particularly mismanaged or anything. I think there's probably more going on behind the scenes with the management of the game than typical people appreciate. So the training buttons self-destruct. So how do we make these guys to self-destruct? Instance destroy. So yeah, I guess we just do that. I believe this destroys the last like. Oh no, this destroys all instances of the thing, and that is perfectly fine here. Because there shouldn't be any other instances anyway, ever, and if there are, they probably need to go away anyway. Okay, so now if we go here, we train. Ah, but I don't have the text. Because I want the text at the top. Yeah, you get one of the three genes to express at every level that has gene expression. So you will miss out on some things. But you can have the same gene multiple times in your level up set, which will then scale it up. So you could always potentially come back to it, depending on how you want to play it out. So if I do, I guess we do the text separately. Let's do, we do this. Yeah, I think we'll just do import sprite. Where'd it go? It saved somewhere dumb. Where did it save? It saved to pictures? Why would you do this to me? There we go. All right, level text sprite. We do an object. Level text. Yeah, PK's got some good quality stuff in it, like just in general. Someday that's going to be a banger of a game. Not quite there yet. Okay, we want to rescale this as well by 25%. I might have just done a thing. No, we're good. Okay. For your birthday, can I say a word in French? Sure, omelette du fromage. There you go. I hope you liked it. Level text. Position. This should probably we should know this. We should know this. Merci beaucoup. Why did I change game? Because we finished what we need to do with JW2 for today. Now we're doing game dev stuff. 140, 100, 21. So if we go to back to here, 140, 121 should just align that in theory. You wanted a nice card on a sword enclosure? Okay, but why did it disappear? Why does the text disappear? I don't understand. We already know JW3 has the Dominion para. Just the skins. It's not a variant or anything, but it's been confirmed. What the fuck? Why would this disappear? I'm so confused. Why would one disappear, not the other? What is the difference here? What have I done that's different? Create image X scale. Oh, no sprite. Oh shit, I didn't set the sprite. It's just invisible. Pyro's in JWE3 and it swims. This is also confirmed. This was confirmed by the YouTuber Weekend. Well, I mean, Pyroraptor we knew was in, but the swimming was confirmed by the YouTuber Weekend. It's perfect. Okay. Next piece of the thing is to turn those cards into buttons. So now we go to Gene Card, add event, key, mouse press left, code, add event, mouse press right, code, and then we want to destroy it. The Frontier Aloe is also confirmed back. He's in the game. He does not have sexual dimorphism, but you can do a male or a female one, and they look the same, which is an acceptable compromise. Level cards, instance destroy. This is what we want. So we want this to destroy. So when you click the card, it will destroy all of its selves, and it will destroy the text. So destroy gene card instances. Oops. Whoops. Destroy the title. Both left press and right press. Verify that this works. Yep, all the Frontier variants are back as far as we know. I don't know if anybody ever confirmed the Iguanodon specifically, but there's no reason to think the Iguanodon would be the exception. Fucking, let's go. Cool. Cool. So, next thing to do, we need these to be created with text. So we do. I'm getting hungry. This goes from here. Can I pass these vars? Yes. Okay, so we need to pass these some vars. We'll do vars 1. Vars card, sure. Let me remind myself of my data structs. Right, this syntax. Yeah, that's always kind of the give and take with like when they finally had combat updates. You can't kind of build the things you've grown used to building, but conversely, from a management perspective, it makes it more interesting. Why did everybody leave the stream? Well, the game dev streams aren't as popular, and that is just fine. I expect them to not be as popular. Okay, so card vars. We'll have a title. Test title. And we'll have text, test, text. And we'll have a type. Dominant gene. We also need a tier. which will hard code as 1. We need an available tier. Available tiers. 3 as a hard code. So this is just a hard-coded example for the text layout before we figure out what to feed it for the text layout. Hey, Rugops. Oh, you missed the end of the other stream? Well, the whole park exploded in fireworks. It was incredible. Tons of stuff happened. I don't think you really missed much. I highly doubt we'll hit 10K on a video. That is not happening anytime soon, but it would be nice. Okay, so we feed card vars to all of these. These would eventually have different variables, but for the sake of the test, we'll just do this as it is. And then we go to the card. When it's created, we need to display text. So we want to get the card's X. So card X equals X. Card Y equals Y. Now we have the coordinates of the image, and now we can coordinate the text. Yeah, but do you know how long it took Snowmageddon to get all those views? Like years and years and years. It will take like we can get to 10K on JW3 videos probably, yeah, but not like right away. Your park's almost done. Very nice. Yeah, we'll I think we can pretty confidently end on Saturday. Wrap the park up just on schedule, exactly as we want it to be done. So we put out a Monday episode, and then immediately we jump into JWE3 for Tuesday or whatever. Okay, so this is X and Y. We need to generate text. Text is generated on the training buttons in some way. Draw text. Bingo. It's under draw. Maybe we do want to do this as a draw for consistency. I don't know if this... Also, I don't need to extract the X and Y coordinates because I can just do this. This is... Yeah. If I was sending it to a different layer, then it wouldn't matter, but I'm not. So yeah, I guess we'll do... We'll keep those there, I guess. Add event draw. Code. Let's do... comment these out. There's no reason to have these in memory for not using them. But we'll leave them there for a legacy thing. They matter later. This was called title, I think. Let's do this. Nigersaurus will return someday, probably. I can't see them leave the small sauropods out for like too long. I don't think they'll be day one, returners, but I think like first year returners type thing seems reasonable to me. Because like it's a very noticeable missing niche in the roster, right? The title. All right, so let's leave this here as an example and comment this shit out. And let's test this. The text should be legible because it should be like on top of itself in theory. It is for the other buttons, but maybe it won't work here. Okay, no text. Oh no, it is there. It is there. It's just in black. I didn't notice it, but yeah, it's there. Okay, we need to change the text color. Draw text color. XY string. Okay, so we do draw text underscore color. And then we need C1 through 4 and alpha. Top left, top right, bottom left. Oh, sick. This makes color gradients? What? Dude, that's sick. So if we do white, if we do this, this should be a gradient. Yeah, let's do a top to bottom gradient. Oh, and I need alpha, I guess, comma 1. Wait, is alpha 1? Yes, this should be right. Okay, I mean, I can't really tell that there's a gradient there. I'm not gonna lie. That just looks like yellow text. We'll do 3 corners white, I guess. Yeah, I want hadrosaurs to have danger associated with them. In my game's canon, hadrosaurs are like hippos. They are just hyper aggressive as a defense mechanism. Like rather than be a reactive animal, since they don't have horns and spikes, their strategy is just I'm gonna kill you first with my massive bulk. Okay, so we want title, we want tier. No, tier will be combined. Dominant, so we want title, we want type. Below that. Can I just do plus in this? Title plus tier? Does that work? Might be too wordy. We might need to like switch that up and put that on multiple lines. Text. X position, probably like 50 for all of these. Y position, call it 50. 100. Like 400? It's probably too much. 300? All right. Training. Train HP. Okay. We've gone too far. We need to go a little further in X, not as far in Y, and definitely the text is like way too long for the one thing. If there's a dino I'd love to have as a pet, what would it be? Interesting question. What dino would make a good pet? Like a small hypsilophodontid, maybe? They got a beak. A Diplo would be insane to take care of, though. Let's do like 70 and 20. 70, 40, and like 200. Okay, so test title tier 1, almost a thing. So what we do is we put this on a separate line. $30. Here. This is title only. No, Diplo's great. Diplo would be cool to have as a pet if it wasn't like untenable. An Alvarezsaur could work. Yeah. Honestly, like maybe I don't know. Would a small carnivore be better than something that's beaky? Like you would just feed it. I mean, I guess Mononicus would be a small carnivore, right? I'll be right back. Yeah, maybe we go with like a small, like a compy. Like just because it could bite you, but it wouldn't be any worse than getting bit by like a cat, theoretically, right? Whereas getting bit by something with too much of a beak would be like chomp chomp, you know? Lose a finger. It's like a super parrot. Okay, so we do title, we do tier. This is gonna drop down lower somewhere. I don't remember if 200 was a decent position. Call it 180. Then we'll do the type on a line separately from the available tiers. Okay. Close. So we move, I didn't separate those two lines out. Let's leave this open for a second. We'll edit these numbers. So we'll do like 35 on the tier. Move that down slightly further. Then the dominant gene thing is way too low. Let's put that at about like 130. 145, and then like 160. Try this again. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff missing from PK that were in like earlier, the early demo build or whatever they had, or then like some of the preview videos and stuff too. Like Stegosaurus is still missing, which is a notable one. Okay, so the test title and tier thing is pretty close to good. Text position's not bad. The text is, what do I want to do about that? It's like really big. I don't know if I really want to shrink it though, because it'll just be less readable. I might leave it. Yeah, we need the Jurassic fellas there. Stegoalo, Serato. Iconic. Okay. So these got to go down a little bit more. The text positioning being off the edge of the card, I'm probably just going to leave alone for now. Because I don't think it matters that much. I am going to get rid of the space on tier. Thought it might look good, but it bugs me. What in the Jurassic Park community just happened? What do you mean? Something kick off? Okay, bat's looking pretty good there. Positioning's not bad. You can see the gradient, the yellow to white. That's fun. We're gonna leave that there. It's not really, it's like piss gradient, but it was a good test. So 13 on spacing is ideal. So this becomes 173. This becomes 186. Next question. What term do you prefer, customer or consumer? Consumer feels more loaded. It feels like you're a fat piggy eating. Wait, what are you talking about, Rugops? What channel are we talking about? I'm confused. Okay, so all the placeholder text works. Let's make sure this disappears. I think it did, right? Did we ever test the buttons actually? Might as well make sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of that. What's the controversy or whatever? All right, let's mute this tab. See what this channel is. Looks like some griping about cut content. Dimorphism. Yeah, I'm no lover of corporations. I hold some pretty leftward views in terms of corporations, so I'm not not a fan of unregulated capitalism. Not that some of the other alternatives ain't great either, but you know, this system we got now is not a winner. All right. So interesting. Some community broader community drama or something. I don't really follow Beaver, so now we're gonna have to break up the text. We can slice. We should probably slice the string natively. String split underscore string split. This is split with a delimiter though. This is not what I want. Slice string by index. Yeah, there's definitely like a movement towards the idea that like the customers owe you shit. That they're just consumers to be exploited. Yeah, I saw the Mutadon toy. It was certainly a thing. Can I just split a string by like indexes like I would in Python? Like, is that a thing? Should we just test this? Let's just test this shit. I can sit here all day trying to figure out like what works. This is flag now is red. Wait, expected bracket but found colon. So this doesn't seem to work. Okay. Damn. String length, string position, manipulating strings, maybe. Trim. String trim. Leading and trailing white space characters removed. That's not what I want. Concat join split. Iteration? No. Data type methods. This should be obvious. This should be like really doable. Yeah, the Maisie retcon is like bafflingly sloppy and pointless. I don't get it. I don't get why they did it. Okay, here's a game maker thread about splitting. Hey, purple guy, how's it going? Um, maybe it's just in. Maybe I should look closer at the split syntax. Maybe you, if you don't put in a delimiter, it just kind of works. Well, that wouldn't achieve anything though, because I don't want to split every character. I just want to split it into like a set number of characters. You have to be able to do this. This is like fundamental, like game shit. Text in sequences. Yep, no worries, no worries. Thanks for coming by, Lee. We'll catch you later. This is not what I'm looking for. How to wrap text around a text box. The fuck? Layer text wrap. Okay, but I would like rather do this manually. I don't want to use like a text wrapping function. I want to split by index. This should be trivial. How to automatically split a long string into several lines. Holy shit, this sucks. Okay, no, we want to use this inbuilt function. Apparently you can't index a string in GameMaker? Like, why is that not a thing? Or maybe you can index, but you can't index in chunks, right? You can't do like 0 through 10. Draw text extended is what we're looking for. Yeah, no, politically, the US is fucking dunzo. I don't know how we ever go back to anything functional. X coordinate, Y coordinate, string to draw, distance in pixel between lines of text, maximum width in pixels of the string before a line break. Oh, sick. Okay. Ah, but then I don't have color. Shit. So this doesn't work either, because this doesn't let me set the font color. Shit. All right, well let's look at this again. We're gonna do it manually. It's gonna suck. It's also 10 o'clock. I actually need to start wrapping this up. We can fit about 11 characters across the card. You know what? Text wrapping is gonna suck in general because we're just gonna really quickly run out of space on these little cards. It should probably be made bigger, and I don't want to do that. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set these like 20. Yeah, no, I heard about the Young Republicans thing. And then there's a bunch of outrage that, oh, how they're getting in trouble for private communications and locker room talk. And like, yeah, man, if you want to talk that way, you probably shouldn't be a politician. Like, if you're taking up a public facing position where you'll be held to higher scrutiny, you have to hold yourself to higher scrutiny. Like, this is not even getting into like what they may have said because I didn't look into the specifics. But also, like, this sounds like what I would expect people like that to do. I would expect to see a lot of 88s in their chats, so to speak. um, so we take the text. But how do I would have to do like an if statement to expand the text placement. Shit. Cuz like if I cuz I can't have it trying to split text that it can't like exceed. Okay. This is we're just going to stick a pin in this. We'll come back to this and fix this later. Let's make a note. Um, get length of text. Split text by words. Check length of fragments. Assign to new variable. Length exceeded. If statements. Or for loop. Yeah. Assign to, this is, we would do this as a list. We add new indexes to list containing text fragments, then for loop the list to write all text lines. That's how we do this. We're just not going to worry about coding it right now. Yeah, no, I mean like that what I'm saying is like theoretically how decorum should be handled, how people in public facing positions should act. But that's gone now. That's over. When people like Trump were handed power a second time, like it's done. There's no decorum left. All there is shit flinging. Nobody will be held to a reasonable standard of you know, professionality. It'll be people will be arbitrarily punished for saying things just essentially at random. It's just about whether or not the people on the upper echelons of power choose to protect them or not, or whether the people on lower echelons of power choose to go after people or not. It's all clown land. It's ridiculous. Yeah, putting somebody like Elon Musk, who was completely cracked out of his gourd, in charge of shit is also just like clown shoes land. It's insane. Uh, we'll be seeing the fallout of a lot of that shit for probably the rest of our lives. Because who knows how much shit's been compromised by Doge. Okay, so this works as a proof of concept essentially. Let's do. We will have some sort of function that fetches gene information and then passes it along to the cards, right? So if we do. So here, we'd have like let's do some test codes. So we'd have like the test genes, right? And the test genes would be like an array, and it would be like some of the genes that we have in the thing. Passive dictionary. Yeah, like these three. Steel trap, osteoderms, extended horns. So there'll always be three. There's always three things. So the 0th entry. First entry, second entry. No. We want global.passivemaster.steeltrap. And then name. So this should be it should be what was it, $? Forget how we did this. Whoops. Oh yeah, this shouldn't have the dot. I think it's $. And then name? Lowercase name. Like that, I think works. So we should see steel trap as 2 words. Global variable passive master not set. Capitalization might be wrong. Passives master. It's pluralized. Attempt 2. We're going to probably finish this and then wrap it up here. Nice. Steel trap, 2 words. Perfect. Important question, would I have $1 or $2? I'd prefer $2 if given the choice, I suppose, huh? One and two. So that's name. Tiers hard coded, that stays. Available tiers. Let's make this like fucking just leave it as 3. It's fine. Dominant gene, that all stays. This will eventually come out of the test gene place. Test gene name, test gene like text or whatever. So now we go back to the passive dictionary. It is in fact description. That's what we're looking for. Remember that. Remember the word description. Okay, now it's going to be a whole hot mess, but the text should be there. Right. So the description is needs to be reconstructed. Yes. But it does work conceptually. So we'll probably want to just make a whole function to do this, I think. Creates function to get card text. Fill in the variables. Split into rows as a list. So we would do something like card text equals do card text we would have, so the problem is there'll be passives and attack. They kind of do their own thing, but I wouldn't need to worry about it right now because they don't have attacks. So let's pass this passive as a variable and then pass it the data for the particular thing. card text. Okay. Do card text script. Gene type. Gene data. Gene type is passive. Data, no. Text stuff equals gene data dot description. No, sorry, not get that. Gnome stuff equals gene data dot base and scale and class. Pass it the tier. Base, scale, and class. Okay. These are lists. This is also a list. Well, an array, whatever. Who cares? Okay. The Carnotaurus did win a fight. We did have the Carnotaurus win. He has beaten the Baryonyx, I think maybe more than once. He just tends to lose like 95% of his fights. We could also like infinitely train him because he has no set lifespan. We will eventually win that way too. Okay, so I need a length. Array length is how I get the length of an array. Incredible. So we've extracted the data. Array length of any of these tells us what we're looking at. Actually, yeah, we want specifically this one. So this will return, for example, 1. We go 4. Oh, we also need here. let's add that before I forget. To the card. Wait. Oh, because it's being passed. It's here, right? I was like, where did I put this? Okay, this is tier 1. So this is passes at 1. Third bar is tier. I need to make a good for loop. Let me steal my good for loop from someplace that it exists. Actually, it's definitely here in the scripts. Okay. Yeah, I guess we just do it like this, huh? Because this shouldn't matter anywhere else. Array length of scale. We're going to define the text output. Text out equals. Take the 0th list entry. We need to add to an array. Array push. Pushing to text out. Okay, first off, put that down there. Second off, we need to do some math. So we do, does percent ever matter? No. Base plus scale times tier. Base I plus scale I times tier. Capital N, I guess. Text out, comma. String of N. Yeah, that should be good. And then we do array out. Text stuff plus 1. I don't. Theoretically, if there is no scale, I don't know what happens. This shouldn't happen at all. Because it's I less than 0, not less than or equal to 0. I would assume this functions the way the loop reads. Not familiar enough with GameMaker to trust that completely, but it should be that. So we take the number, put it in, we put this in. We need a thing here. If class I absolutely equals, no, this has to go above. If class index I absolutely equals %, we do string n equals string of n plus %. Just add the % sign where we should have it. Pushes it through, iterates, pushes it through. This should be everything we need. Return text out. This is not done formatting, but I want to test it. I need to wrap the stream up. We need to end. Okay, it crashes. Error in action number 1, array push argument 0 is not an array. Argument 0 is not an array. Argument 0. What? Argument 0 is not an array. Array push argument 0 is not an array. Array push. Oh, wait. Text out. Oh, yes. Okay. Right. Because I'm extracting the 0th element, but I need to put it into a new list. Let's make sure this works. Yeah, we're going to get this. We're going to make sure this works, and then we're ending stream. Okay, so bite attacks deal 10% additional damage. Okay, so that's it. So everything's a string. We just need to put it all together and then break it up into lines. Other than that, it works. So that's huge. Okay. Now here we take the text out array and convert it to a single string, then slice by length, question mark, and then export a list properly scaled for display, question mark. I'll know what it means. But that's what we got to do. We got to reformat this and chop it up into separate lines so that it displays correctly. All right, saving that. We're gonna do the paranoid thing and always do a backup save in another random location because I'm a crazy person. Dino Rancher under desktop. Right. Wait. Well, never mind. I'll do that off stream. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna end it here. I gotta get ready to go to the gym. I'll catch you.